Hello and welcome to the Old and in the Way podcast with Jim and Mark. Today we have a true powerhouse joining us, an artist who embodies creativity in its purest form, a singer whose voice can captivate a stadium, a songwriter whose lyrics are crafted such that they resonate, and a model who defines elegance and beauty. With a career that reflects multiple creative disciplines, recording artist Tricia Danieli is the perfect example of artistic versatility. Tricia's electrifying performances has made an indelible mark on the entertainment world. And today, she's here with us and sharing her journey, her insights, and maybe even a few surprises. So get ready to deep dive into the mind of a true creative force. Ladies and gentlemen, Tricia Danieli.
Thank you so much. Thank you. It's great to be here.
Who's the little guy?
You brought your dog.
This is Perla.
And does she go with you everywhere you go?
She does. She's a great traveler.
Okay, so if you take a flight from the East Coast to the West Coast, like 5 hours, whatever, what do you do with the dog?
Well, usually she just comes with me in a little bag that I put under the seat, right in front of me. But she likes to be held as much as possible. So she's good that way. But nobody even notices her. So she's used to, the road.
Well, that's great. And do you have to, so you don't have to pay for a ticket or anything like that for her?
Yeah, usually the airlines do charge a fee for her.
That's terrible. Now, Tricia, you came out to the Bay Area recently and you didn't call me to tell me that you were going to be performing. What is that all about?
Well, to be fair, before you start travel shaming me, I have to say that I didn't actually do performances there. I was there to record video and take photos. And by the time I got all that work done, I was so exhausted and honestly kind of felt a little bit like, sleep exhaustion, dehydration, whatever, that I had to cancel the plans to stay an extra day and hang and meet up with old friends and stuff. So I ended up having to go home a little bit early, but I got the work done, which is the important part.
That is wonderful. And you just coined a new term, travel shame. You heard it first, ladies and gentlemen, on the Old and in the Way podcast. Back to you, Mark.
Tricia, you started your musical career at the age of 8. What inspired you, and also what influences did you have as you began?
I probably was about 4 or so when I just started singing and dancing and performing for all the company and guests we would have. But 8 is about when I took it to more professional training and playing by ear, figuring things out, realizing that I could write songs. And that whole realization came from watching Yanni, the Greek composer, with the keyboards and the full orchestra and all that. That's what really gave me this idea that I could come up with a song and it could be so big that a whole orchestra could play it and a whole, Acropolis full of people could enjoy it.
We're looking forward to that dream coming true. How long does it take you to write a song?
That's a very good question. The writing process is very interesting because it can honestly take a couple of hours, like everything front to back in a day, or it could take years. And I've had songs that I've had for years, okay, I got this melody, the words aren't quite right, and one day I'm going to come up with the right word. As long as you never force it, it always happens exactly how it's supposed to happen.
Do you start first with the music or the lyrics?
I like to start with the music because I love sitting at the piano and just seeing what flows and seeing what comes out of me. But again, sometimes the words come right along with it. So there's different types of processes.
And do you wake up in the middle of the night and some inspiration causes you to pull out a piece of paper or get up get on the piano?
Oh, definitely. This has happened. I've gotten up in the middle of the night. I've had melodies in dreams before where I was like, oh, that's like what I've been trying to come up with, something like that. And then I ran out of bed, put the headphones on, and record a little demo. And I've run out of the shower, dripping wet, and like, oh, this is what I got to write down, you know. So
I read somewhere that Stevie Wonder kept a little recorder by his bed because this would happen to him all the time too. You go back to sleep, you lose it.
yeah. Oh, yeah. The ideas
So,
are,
so those moments you've got to grab them. And
yeah.
if you could collaborate with anybody or perform with anybody, are there any artists that you would like to connect with?
Well, number one, I'm gonna have to say Yanni. That's still
Okay.
my dream. I think that would be incredible. But there's so
Yanni,
many
if
that
you're out there,
I
yes.
hear that he does watch this show, and any
a
day,
lot of people are saying that.
yeah, his people could be watching your people. What, Tricia? How old is Yanni right now?
I'm not sure. When I was, I can't remember. I have his book, so I could figure that out.
We will figure that out, and or put it in the comments below. Tricia, if you watched this show, Old in the Way podcast, I know you're one of the biggest fans of this show. Mark started it a while ago, and he's got a huge following. But if he were to hire you to write a theme song for this show, do you have any ideas of what it would sound like?
Oh, Old and in the Way. I've got like a little bit of an idea.
Okay. So Tricia,
Wow.
you're going to be performing live next.
Let's see. Actually, I've taken a few months off. Like right now, I'm not really doing too many live shows, maybe one or two a month. But I don't even know what the next one is, to be honest with you. I can't even think because I'm working on an album right now. So I realized the only way for me to really do that and give it, everything I've got is to take some time off of performing.
Now, once
So,
you complete the album, are you going to go on tour?
um, we'll see because I right now I don't have a label or anything yet. So being an unsigned artist and
What
just kind
labels are actually out there right now? Are the
of,
Columbia Capital, are they all around still?
there's there's a lot, especially like in Nashville. That's where a lot of the music industry is these days. So I have a couple connections there that you know they know a lot of musicians and people. So it might be good to kind of head there and work on something too.
Nashville's pretty cool, but I wouldn't go there in the winter.
Yeah, it's a little too cold for me too now. I
The,
And
can't go.
have you been to Nashville?
Yeah, I have
Okay.
a couple times now. Yeah.
I like Nashville. Uh,
Yeah.
would you ever do country music?
I'm not a country person. Like I don't really see it because it's just not something I grew up with, but it's, sometimes there's a really good song that really just gets me right in the feels. So
now,
Yeah.
Mark is a big country fan. You're not music shaming him, are you?
And that's fine.
that's awesome.
I think John Lennon said all this music is just part of the same ocean or body of music, and it's really not that different. It's more all the same.
Right. And as
Yeah.
you guys know, I had a big rap career. My name was Vanilla Dave, but people just call me VD for short. So thank you. My album is available wherever 8 tracks are sold. So, Trish, when you do, okay, so now do you perform all the different instruments, or do you have a sessions crew, or how do you do it? Talk to us.
So right now the album that I'm recording is it is all me producing and arranging and writing. And I am playing most of the parts. So like all the piano, keys, Rhodes, organ, synths. Then I've got horns, synths, did a little drum programming, the bass synths. And I brought in a horn player for a couple songs, and my engineer is a fantastic guitarist and all-around musician. His name is Mason Pace, and so he's doing all of the tracking and the all of the work of the engineer, which is like
That's
technical.
crucial. Yeah, you want it to sound good because you got a great singing voice, and we don't want that to be put to shame with bad production. So I can't wait to hear the album. And then, so are you gonna, some people are going back to vinyl. Are you gonna print some vinyl records? I'm serious.
That would be something to think about. I don't even own a record player myself. That would be something fun to kind of have, though.
Yeah.
It's a cool sound.
It's everything old is new again. So we're excited. And Mark Lomas, what are you inspired to say next?
I'm curious. What I picked up online, you play all kinds of instruments, and you started playing them at an early age. How many instruments do you play?
Well, the first instrument I wanted to play was the violin, actually. So I do now have a couple violins, and I play
Wow.
a little bit. Yeah, just a little bit. Like I've recorded little parts on songs. I play the drums because I grew up having brothers that play drums, and picked up a lot from them. And it's a lot of fun. It's a whole different feeling. And let's see, I have the ukulele, which is fun on the beach, and the guitar, which is just a lot of fun. And then like I have like a steel drum, melodica, just fun little things that I bring to shows. But I mean, I've picked up a banjo and played one before, and like actually wrote a couple songs on it. And my friend used it for his album, and like
Banjos aren't easy.
It's just random. I'll figure anything out if I feel like it.
Well, Tiny Tim made the ukulele great again, and I think you can too, because he's gone. He's not with us.
And if she has a clue who Tiny Tim is, I'd be thrilled.
I do. It's the tulips, tiptoeing through the tulips.
Very
right?
good.
Wow.
Absolutely. And where did he get married?
Where did he get married? Whoa.
On the Johnny Carson show.
Oh, I wanted to rhyme with tulips for some reason.
So, Trish, what are your goals for the next year? For this is 2025. We're at the beginning of 2025. What's going to happen in your life between now and the end of this year?
This is a very exciting year. So not only is this album coming out, which is the second full-length album, and the first one it's been almost 10 years since I've released an album, full album. But I'm also writing a book. So if everything goes well, I might have that by the end of the year. And they're going to kind of go together. Like one's going to tell a lot personally, and then the other's going to relate it to, everyday life kind of. So
are you gonna
do you have management?
I don't right now. I try to manage myself, but it's not an easy job.
I get that, but is that something you'd be open to?
It is. Yeah, it's something.
Okay.
Yeah.
Somebody that can make things happen.
For sure. Yeah.
Yeah.